Hey guys, and welcome back to Combat Corner. My name is Jackson,
My name's Kobe.
and today we are reacting and breaking down to the card that happened just yesterday,
We're breaking
UFC
down to the card.
302.
We're going to be doing a little dance.
Islam Makhachev versus Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Got a few things to talk about there. Got a drink to break down once again. Another Monster Energy.
Chaotic this time. Another one from the United Kingdom, it looks like. 'Cause it's got the pound thing on it.
Pound.
Pound. I'm going to take it down to Pound Town. It's got L-carnitine.
Nice.
L-carnitine plus B vitamins plus
Yep.
taurine. So that should be interesting.
Fantastic.
I'm a little bit sick today, but you know, Jackson's braved the bugs for this episode. Absolute legend.
For you guys.
you couple people that are
Yeah.
out there.
So without further ado,
Let's get into this show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Combat Corner.
Oh, did it again.
he's done it again.
I accidentally clicked this open before the one was counted.
So we've got tropical orange flavor here.
Ooh, whoa.
It's not bad.
That's good.
It's quite a
I
strong.
think the aftertaste is nice.
Yeah, it's better than the initial
Yeah, it is. That's what I was
brush of the
thinking too.
lips that it has.
Guys, look, UFC 302 went down this weekend. Bit of a disappointment, if I'm completely and utterly honest. Obviously, what we all wanted to happen, Dustin Poirier winning, didn't happen. Pretty predictable,
Yeah,
to be fair. Like, I think we kind of summed it up pretty well.
and the rest of the card was quite predictable
Pretty
too.
predictable.
In all honesty,
Pretty predictable.
even going down to some of the prelims, though,
Mm.
those had a fair bit of predictability to them as well.
0 knockouts in the prelims.
Yep.
None.
Um,
There was none on the
Strickland
main
having
card.
a very predictable performance.
A very
Paulo Costa
Strickland
possibly not.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland getting it done
That was
as
a good fight.
once again we could have predicted.
We did predict.
Yep. So look, there's a lot to be said about it though. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of good matchups to be made.
There's a lot.
A potential retirement on the cards for Dustin Poirier.
Potential retirement, which would suck, but some people may have called him out as well. Maybe someone from down under, one of
Who
our
was that?
short kings, from down under.
Who called him out?
Think about it.
Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah, he did.
Really?
He asked for a fight against Dustin Poirier if he can't get that fight with Ilya. So in the meantime,
Okay.
So a lot of interesting stuff going down. Even though it was a bit of a plain Jane card, and I just wanted to bring up before we get into anything, the UFC gloves. It was the first time that they were on display. The new UFC gloves. First of all, they look all right. The black ones do. Not a fan personally of the gold ones.
Neither.
I think they look They look like construction
They
workers.
look very tacky.
They do. They look super tacky, out of place. It would have just been so much cooler if they just made like the UFC thing gold.
Yeah.
Instead, and just black gloves. As well, did you notice at the very end of the fight, the UFC logo had peeled off of Islam's glove?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but I think I pressed a button on the keyboard that stopped the recording. So, luckily I caught that. We'll get back into it. Yeah, Islam Makhachev's glove. The little UFC bit. Grab one of these.
For reference.
For reference, the little UFC part on the glove had like peeled off. You know when you get like plastic and you like rub it like that and it
Yeah.
twirls
Or
up?
just
into,
like a really
thing?
shitty t-shirt and it starts like
Yeah,
the logo starts peeling off after a couple of washes.
exactly. That's exactly what it looked like. It was a bit of a shock. I didn't think that would have happened. Just noticed it at the end. And then, yeah, again, is there any correlation between 0 knockouts on the card and these new gloves? Could that be something we could potentially
I don't
see
think
less
so.
of in the future?
I
I
don't
know.
think so. Look, I mean,
It's more
there
padding.
wasn't really a hell of a lot of knockout artists on the card. Like, all in all, okay? I mean, sure, you've got Dustin Poirier, who has got quite
Dust
a few
Emporia, yep.
knockouts on his resume, but he's up against potentially one of the most dominant
Pound for
lightweight
pound,
champions we've ever
best in the
seen.
world probably right now.
Paulo Costa just couldn't get his shots off. Another knockout artist who, to be fair, in the upper echelons of the middleweight division, he hasn't really been able to.
He's not knocked anyone out in a while.
No, so
That's for sure.
since he started fighting top quality opponents, that hasn't really been his way of getting it done.
Not his thing.
Then you've got Kevin Holland, who does have power in his hands, but he was very nearly knocked out himself.
Correct. That's a point. He did get dropped. So that's, I don't know. It was just something I wanted to point out. Interestingly enough, the first time we see these new gloves in action, there's no knockouts on the card, which is pretty crazy. And did we see a reduction in eye pokes? I don't think we did at all.
No,
really.
there was that.
There was quite a lot.
Who was that in that?
The
fight?
Randy Brown fight?
Yeah.
That against,
bad.
I forget, Aleski Dos Santos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dos Santos got eye poked a lot in that fight,
Yeah.
and basically the ref just was having none of it.
Nope. That was pretty poor refereeing.
Yeah, John
in
Anik
honesty.
went a bit mad for a moment. He was like,
fair
"What's
enough.
going on?"
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
You got to give him the time to recover.
Some interesting refereeing decisions. Should we get into the fights?
Yeah, let's start from the top.
Starting from the top. So the Diamond, Dust Emporia, otherwise known as on the show, won't be getting that bonus. Well, no, he will. He's got that
Fight of the
50k
night.
bonus, so he can open up that Emporium for Dust.
Yeah, lovely.
Lovely stuff. Yeah, real shame. I think we all collectively, as a community of fight fans, wanted him to get it done.
Yeah, it would have been a nice little kind of capping point to his career.
Would've.
I mean, he has been speaking, especially this week in the lead up to this fight, and a little bit before in his last couple of fights as well, about potentially retiring.
Yep.
This was, I'm going to say, definitely his last title shot.
Oh yeah, it's got to be right.
And
I mean, he looked good though.
to be fair, yeah, he went out there and he did a lot more damage than what anyone else was expecting.
Huh?
He had moments in the fourth and fifth rounds where it looked like it was going to go his way, and the judges' scorecards that came out after the fight showed that he was
doing well.
He was actually tied with Islam going into that last round. So
yeah,
and up until the point where he was taken down and submitted in that fifth round, in my opinion, he was winning.
Oh yeah, I have to agree. That last round was going his way. It was funny because Islam hadn't managed to get him down for a while, and he kind of got a bit creative with the grappling. And when he did that, when he really kind of threw away safety for a moment and tried something a little bit more stylish, it actually worked off really well for him.
Yeah.
And then tried the ghillie, and then used the guillotine to set up that Dast choke. And yeah, it was just at the point where I think Dust was a little bit maybe defeated. Like, he was still in the fight. Don't get me wrong, but he got taken down pretty big time, and then a few submission attempts, and he got put in a real tight guillotine. Dust, and he actually did go out after he tapped. Super impressive, but like we were saying, he managed to keep up with the pound for pound best right now, in my opinion. Islam Makhachev, he managed to keep up with him at age 35, thinking about retirement. The guy's a dog.
Yeah.
I also wanted to just quickly bring up, I don't think Islam's ever going to get out of Khabib's shadow, because he's having fights with these guys that are so competitive, and people are always going to be like, look what Khabib did. That's what I know. I was thinking that. Khabib made it look easy.
Yeah.
That was a tough fight for Islam,
Yeah, that's fair. But on another note, I mean, going back to what I was saying in the lead up to this card, Islam now has a bona fide win against a top contender in the lightweight division.
A legend.
A legend at that. Someone who has been tested and has been round the block many a time by now in Dust Emporia. And going into this next fight, which most likely is going to be against Arman Sarukian,
Should be.
he will probably be taking in quite a lot more confidence. And I think, there's no question now how good this guy is.
Yeah.
If you had questions at all going into that fight, but
yeah,
there really isn't that many other people in the lightweight division, in my opinion. I mean, obviously you've got Justin Gaethje, who was looking good up until he lost against Max Holloway. You've now got Max Holloway, but I feel like he's at a pretty similar point in his career to Dustin, where he's probably looking for some more fun fights rather than. Look, I could be completely wrong. Getting all the way back up to a lightweight title shot. But
I think that's the thing with Max. Like, they want him to fight Ilya next, or he kind of wants to fight Ilya next. I don't know why he's not shouting for Islam, like, because I mean, realistically, it's got to be Arman, but
yeah.
I mean, there's got to be at least a claim there for Max. Like,
Well,
bro, he just beat the number one guy.
Yeah,
you know, like
Dana was talking in the post-fight press conference about how they are trying to book another BMF title bout. And that got me thinking,
who's it going to be?
Who is there in the lightweight division who you could put up there as a BMF and who isn't booked also? And that got me thinking.
Dustin Poirier?
Dan Hooker versus Max Holloway.
That would be good.
What a scrap
that would be a banger. But, I mean, the only thing there is just rankings. Well, I suppose it kind of makes sense in the rankings because he's ranked number like fucking 9.
Yeah.
But after
and Dan
coming
Hooker's
off
in there at
Islam,
like number 12.
Yeah. Sorry, Islam. After coming off a win against number one contender Justin Gaethje, I think it's pretty rough for Max to have to go back and fight a Dan Hooker. You know, like.
But who else is there as a BMF contender?
As a BMF, I've got to say, chuck him in against Ilya and put the BMF on the line. You know, why not? Why not?
Featherweight.
A featherweight. Why not? Because I think the BMF I was going to try and think of a cool word there. But
look, here's the thing. So far for the BMF belt, you've had Masvidal versus Diaz. Both absolute badasses.
You know,
both guys that step into the cage and you know there's just going to be violence.
Yep.
Then you had Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. Again, two other guys who are just absolute examples of pure violence. And then we had Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje, who once again are two of the most like crazy guys to watch in the octagon.
Oh yeah, they're crazy.
Obviously, Gaethje getting that win against Dustin Poirier. Gaethje also having all-out wars with Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson. His fight with Dustin Poirier in the past, and Max Holloway just countless amounts of times that he has stepped in there and just put on an absolute world-class show. And a war. I'm just thinking, who else is there that has that kind of resume?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Dan Hooker's the only guy that comes to mind.
I just want to see Max fight for ranking again. I want to see him make a claim at this lightweight belt and become a double champ. Like, maybe go through Ilya first, see what happens there. If he wins that fight, I just want to see him fight Islam. That's all I want. But it's almost as if those tides aren't.
No, because I think together. If Islam fights Arman and he gets that done,
he's going to move up.
Yeah, I could well see him moving up to fight Leon.
And I think one more fight for him is enough for him to be like, okay, I want to give it a crack at 170. Like, because that'll be four defenses technically at that point, right?
That would be the most in the lightweight
history. Is
I believe so. It's only been defended 3 times.
3 times. So I'd give him whatever he wants at that point. Honestly, go up, do your thing. You know, do your little thing.
So we want to see Islam against Arman.
Absolutely.
Who do we want to see Dustin fight?
I wouldn't mind that Volk fight. I think that would be a real cool fight if they're both actually keen.
But what does it do for Volk? Like, is he just moving up for that fight?
Volk just said he wanted a fun fight. He was just like, look, mate, I want to have a scrap. If I can't get that Ilya fight, let's have a scrap.
Okay.
He said, massive respect for you. You know, we're both fan favorites. Let's go.
I like that.
You know, it was a bit random.
Yep.
Can't say it wasn't. Definitely a random call out, but I wouldn't mind it. Wouldn't be opposed to it as like co-main of like the Perth card or something. That's pretty good. Perth. The Perth card. Or if they're doing another one in Australia later in the year or something, you know, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe like a Sydney card or Brisbane card, maybe. Eh?
Have they had one in Brisbane?
Have they had one in Brisbane? That's a good question.
If not, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'd definitely bloody go. What are we looking at?
UFC Brisbane.
Screaming at it. Hunt versus Mir. UFC Fight Night
85.
So that was in 2016. Hunt versus Bigfoot as well.
Oh,
so yeah, they've been to Brisbane a couple times, but not for a while.
Yeah, not for a very long time.
Where to go watch you? Oh, well, it's So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, second down the card, Sean Strickland, Paulo Costa. They fought. It wasn't a very good, an entertaining fight, in my opinion, personally.
Yeah, it had moments, but
Costa
again
was shit.
Yeah, Costa
Cannot be relied on.
Why did he call for that to be 5 rounds as well?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what? I would love to see Strickland in a 3-round fight. We haven't seen him in a 3-round fight for probably almost,
for a long time.
I would say close to 10 fights. Like most of his middleweight reign, like this kind of streak that he's been on, has been him headlining fight nights or him obviously becoming the champion. And then since then, it's all been 5 rounds.
It seems like
I'd like to see him go in
the
there.
last one would have been the Alex Pereira fight, I think.
That's true, yeah.
That would have, but obviously didn't go 5 rounds. But
yeah, and that was on that was on a big pay-per-view from memory, wasn't it? That was on
the Adesanya
Cannonier, yeah.
So that would have been like,
which also had Holloway and Volkanovski on it.
Yes. Yes.
It did.
That's true. Fuck, time is weird.
Yeah.
That seems like that was like longer ago.
Those
It seems like the Alex Volkanovski Holloway one was longer ago, but the Strickland one was less.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you.
It's odd.
But think about it. That was like the first real test that Alex Pereira had.
It was.
At middleweight.
At middleweight.
And
he's already
think about what he's done since then.
It's crazy. It's crazy. The guys, I love it when he comes up on the camera and everyone's like, yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
I think the only person who got a louder roar in the arena was Trump.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, it's going to be hard
to outdo that.
It's Donald Trump. People are like, what the fuck is Donald? Like,
yeah.
They're just keen to look at him.
Anyway, though, Strickland, what's next for this guy? I mean,
it's got to be a title shot.
Yeah, it sounds like we've got Dricus versus Izzy waiting to happen at the moment. It sounds like they're in the closing stages of making that fight a reality.
Perth,
yeah, maybe. Very well could be in Perth. If not, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that maybe towards the end of the year even. But either
Sydney.
way, does Izzy deserve that shot?
No. Fuck no.
He does not.
Absolutely not.
He got absolutely steamrolled by Strickland. Since then, Strickland had a very close fight with Dricus in a way that it really could have gone his way if you had some other
different
judges. Yeah, like we saw another example this weekend of some crazy judging going
against
on.
Him. Yeah, I agree. Like the guy could still be champ. Realistically, this could have been his second title defense. So Izzy doesn't deserve it, but that's what they will definitely do. I mean, I get it. Izzy versus Dricus sells a lot of tickets.
Yeah, and it was the fight that we were supposed to have when Sean originally stepped in and took Dricus's place.
And it doesn't mean that Sean doesn't get the next title shot as well.
I can't see him waiting though. Do you know what I mean?
He said in his press conference that he's like, I'll fucking wait. But I agree. I feel like he gets cold feet, and he's like, fuck, I need to do something. And if it ends up being a year, because he even said in his press conference that if they do Izzy Dricus and then the Whittaker Chimaev fight happens and they decide they want the winner of that to do, he was like, oh look, I'll just wait. I'm gonna wait. That's it. I deserve the title shot. I'm gonna wait. But like we say, is he gonna wait?
It's Sean Strickland.
It's Sean fucking Strickland. I think what's probably gonna happen is Izzy versus Dricus happens.
Sean will be the backup.
I think, I think if Izzy wins, he'll fight Sean next. If Dricus wins, it'll be Chimaev or Whittaker. Or probably not Whittaker. It'll be Chimaev if he wins.
Yeah.
And then I can kind of see like maybe them doing like a Whittaker Strickland.
Dude, that
title eliminator.
That fight needs to happen.
It does.
Those two in a cage. Fight. Yeah, because Rob Whittaker isn't the kind of guy that will he also has quite an awkward style. He kind of moves in and blitzes, and he puts people on the back foot a lot of the time as well. Whereas the people that Strickland has fought in recent memory, I mean, you've got obviously Paulo Costa, which just happened on the weekend. Couldn't get his shots off. Spent the whole fight on the back foot, moving backwards, frustrated. Did the same thing to Izzy. He did a very similar thing to Dricus, but Dricus somehow managed to point his way to
bloody good
to a win. But yeah, I think Strickland versus Whittaker is the fight to make at middleweight.
I think you're right. I think that's a fight that would pose significant challenges to Strickland
And Whittaker.
and Whittaker too.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, I just don't think. I think the style of Costa and what he did to Izzy is like perfect. I'm just looking at like the way Whittaker fights, and I just don't see him being able to do that same thing to Whittaker. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like Whittaker's blitzes are going to cause a lot of issue for Sean. Those
Dricus fights in a similar way to that. He kind of puts his head down he puts his head down and comes in swinging and then finds space.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
moves in quite an unorthodox way. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I think I just want to see it. I want to see it happen. I want to see how that would work out for the two of them.
So Strickland title shot, Paulo Costa.
Costa's got to take a step back, like an Imamov, a Cannonier, someone like that. He needs to go back.
Those two are booked to fight each other.
The winner of that.
The winner of that. I like that.
Yeah, the winner of that fight's got to be. And I want to see Costa go back to his old style where he went out fucking swinging.
I think for that he needs to go back into a 3-round fight.
Yeah, throw caution to the wind.
Yeah.
You know, fucking go for it. And get rid of your corner, because those pricks are not in it for the right reasons. They told him that he was up 2-1 going into the 4th round.
Yeah,
he
that's
was
ridiculous.
not up. He was 3 down.
I don't think he won a round at that point.
No, I don't think so at all.
I think the 4th round could have gone to Costa. But other than that, Sean won.
He seriously
at least
outstruck
4
him.
rounds. Yeah.
So, yeah, I want to see Costa take a good step back, a 3-round, maybe like a opener of a pay-per-view, a big pay-per-view card or something. I like that he's being active.
Yeah,
I like seeing this from him, but he needs to stay active if he wants to. You know, he's only 33. He's athletic. He's a fun character. He's got a lot of room to grow into the sport. But should we pull up his record? Like
something also worth noting. I believe Sean Strickland overtook 2nd position for the most significant strikes.
Oh yeah,
overtaking Angela Hill in the UFC.
It's so funny that it's her.
But
yeah,
that's a pretty big.
It is.
Big move.
It's so
Jeez.
not good from Paul Acosta.
There's only wins in the last 5 years
that up
coming
here.
in the way of Yoel Romero and Luke Cuckold.
Yeah, I mean, this is not good. I mean, he's had some pretty cool fights. Like the Vittori fight was insane. The Rockhold fight was insane. The Whittaker fight was insane. Obviously, he got daddied by Izzy and Strickland, and the Yoel fight was insane. But you know, could have gone either way. Uriah Hall was, you know, the guy. It's like he's being fraud checked over and over again. We need him to go way down the rankings and see what he can do. Basically,
I think it's likely time that we will see Paulo Costa kind of slip into the role of a gatekeeper.
Yeah,
for
for a
middleweight
while.
division.
You know, for a while. Like, I just want to see him active though. He needs to stay active, Paul Acosta. Like he's had 2 fights this year already. In 2023,
we could well see him fight again.
Yeah, I hope we do. He had 1 fight in 22, 1 fight in 21,
If
1 fight in
Chimaev
20,
loses,
1 in 9. Like he's not active, man. He needs to stay active.
if Hamzat loses, then that
That's
does
the fight.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Should we move down?
Yeah.
So Kevin from Home Alone, he's doing all right for himself nowadays. That guy.
Kevin Holland
getting it done. Round 1 submission. We both called, I think.
I put down as a 3rd round submission on verdict. I can't remember what I said on the episode, but
Right. Well, we both said submission. Slightly different to what I had called. I thought he was going to drop Oleg Zaczek and then get the submission from there, but he actually got dropped himself and then got the submission.
Oleg, how do you say it?
Oleg Zaczek.
Oleg Zaczek looked pretty phenomenal out there.
He did.
Um,
Looked really good. He's a tough motherfucker.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I think it does. Once again, there's levels. Do you know what I mean? And Kevin Holland is about as well rounded as it gets in that point of the division.
I agree. Yeah,
Um,
he called it himself. He's the greatest gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it was either John Anik or DC said that he's kind of underselling himself a little bit there.
Oh yeah.
But
But he's just having a laugh.
I think it really goes to show that is kind of what he has been doing. Like, he doesn't care who he's fighting. He doesn't step in there and kind of sees a fight as a, if I win this fight, I that sets this or that up, or it kind of puts me on a little bit of a run to go towards. Like, he fights in 2 divisions.
He's taking it one fight at a time every time,
Yeah.
He's so active as well. Already fought twice this year. 3 times in 2023. What was it? 4 times in 22. 3 in 21. 2020 fought 5 times, all in the US. Like, the guy is, he's just so good. I love him. I love it.
Not only that, but 5 wins in 2020.
Oh yeah, and the last one of those being that crazy knockout of Souza, beating like Anthony Hernandez. That's a big win. Joaquin Buckley. A lot of
that was
wins
Joaquin
that age
Buckley's
well,
UFC debut.
Yeah. I mean, he has changed a lot since then. I'd like to see that fight again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
In fact, that's probably who I'd match up Kevin Holland with next.
Yeah.
Jump back down to 170. Joaquin Phoenix. Get it done. There's a lot of really good, like Gerald Meerschaerts. Like, Jesus, he's had some great wins. That have aged really well. Charles Oliveira, like, that's crazy.
Stop being silly.
So yeah. Anyway, guys, I want to see him do that. I did see a bit of a hot take from the MMA guru saying that, his arm was already broken. He didn't tap. Why did the fight get stopped? Like, he's trying to display his heart so that he can, get out of the submission. The arm's already broken. You've essentially just let a fight go to a broken arm for no reason now. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Like, let him try to fight out of it.
I can see that, but
his arm was fucked as well. He should have tapped.
I mean, at the same time, being the UFC, you probably don't want to see people getting their arms snapped all the time and then continue fighting. It doesn't look good for a commission signing off on the fights that you've got coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the same time,
bones get broken from kicks, from punches. Dan Hooker fought how many rounds with a broken arm against?
Even Kevin Holland fought with a broken wrist against
exactly.
Wonder Boy.
And then he decided that it was enough when it got to a certain point. You know?
I mean, if you can hide it, sure. But if you're just lying there and this guy is cranking your arm further and further into a fucked up position.
Yeah, but I feel like I want to see a tap or a TKO in that position. Oleg Zaitchik is a tough motherfucker, and he was like, this is my fight to lose. This is my arm to be broken. You've just now let me get a broken arm and gave me no chance to, if you stopped it before the broken arm, I'd be okay. But you stopped it just after it broke. And I don't even get a chance to fight out of it because he was kind of getting up a little bit. I mean, he was on the bottom, but, that's a reversal territory.
Yeah.
Just give him a chance. I mean, it is what it is.
This guy's going to have to take a lot of time off, obviously. So
yeah, a lot. And Kevin Holland can probably go right back in there now.
Yeah.
Against Joaquin Phoenix.
I mean, well, to be fair, he did take some pretty hard knocks.
He did.
I wouldn't be surprised if they,
give him a medical suspension.
Yeah, for a month or so. But
take a month, Holland. Take a month.
Oleg Zaitchik, I don't know if I want to match him up just yet because
I mean, I hope they keep him in the UFC.
Goes,
I really hope they don't cut him.
Oh shit! No, they should not cut him.
No, but I mean, like,
you think of the return arc for this guy, possibly. He
get on the steroids.
Well, not even get on the steroids, but just get well again. Next fight he has, they can just be like, this guy was so tough. He didn't tap even when his arm was broken. Rah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
no, absolutely.
I'm not matching him up at the moment. Kevin Holland, should fight Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah, absolutely.
If not, I'm sure there's shitloads of other people who are lining up to fight this guy.
And he would fight anyone too, so, Moving down the card, we had Nico Price versus Moreno. Look, I don't want to spend too much time talking about this one. It was shit. Both of the guys, not very, very high level. Shouldn't really be on the pay-per-view main card. Like, it's just annoying. But Moreno looked worse out of the two, and he lost. Nico Price clipped him a few times. Nothing crazy.
Doesn't look in shape.
No, and he didn't have power. No. I heard another comment that Alex Moreno looks like Justin Gaethje fighting only when he's hurt. When Justin gets hurt and he's like fucking like...
Yeah.
And I can't...
With the body of Ben Askren.
Yeah, with the body of Ben Askren. I mean, I just don't see why they must have been really scrambling for this card because, like, a win over Court McGee, that gets you on the undercard of Alan Curtis 2. That was a shocking card, remember?
Yeah.
A win over Court McGee gets you a place on the main card of a pay-per-view. You know, like, and then the same with Nico Price. Like, well, a win over a loss to Robbie Lawler a year ago gets you a main slot on 302. You're like, why?
Yeah.
Why is this happening? I don't. Surely there was better fights we could put on here. I don't know.
I think we're still recovering from the stardom of UFC 300. In all honesty,
Yeah, and as well these Saudi cards, these Dubai cards that are coming up. Like,
they're pretty deep.
They're pretty stacked, and I can see what they're doing there. I mean, the Conor card isn't that good either. There's 3 really good fights, and kind of just drops off from there.
At least we've got 3.
At least we've got 3.
That's coming up later this month.
Similar to Ian Gary's situation. You know, they got 3. You know?
Nice.
Thank you.
I like how you tied that in. Cool.
But yeah.
I don't really care who these guys fight, in all honesty.
No, it's no stakes on that,
No,
really.
it's probably going to be another slot on a fight night for both of them, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
After that performance.
Maybe give Nico Price like a retirement fight on the main card of fight night next time. How old is he? You know, he's 34. He's...
Looks like he's 40 the way that he's moving around. He was
he
slow,
moves weirdly.
man.
He got knocked out by Philip Rowe.
And he couldn't find a finish against a guy like Morono who was struggling
Yeah,
for the last half of round 2 and all of round 3. God.
Jeez, someone's ripping it up out there.
They just turned their car on.
Also, I don't know if you've noticed while we've been filming, but there's like a whole like microbiome of stuff up there.
Yeah.
Kind of cool, eh?
That's great. I've got a good view of it.
Good. Look, guys. Kopylov. We're missing Randy Brown versus Elezu Zaleski dos Santos. Cool name. Not so cool in this fight. Got the Randy Brown getting the win. He won round 1 and 3. I thought that was pretty obvious. Zaleski dos Santos, you know, he's older. He got poked in the eyes a couple times. He didn't get poked in the eye.
Yeah,
You know?
it was hard to tell.
Hard to tell. Randy Brown, he's a weird fighter. Some strange like little moves that he does that you're like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
but you know, that's up to him.
Saying that, Dos Santos has wins over Benoit Saint Denis
Yeah.
and Sean Strickland,
Yeah.
notably. So
Was the Benoit fight at 155 or was that at
I have no idea.
I wonder if we can see, because that would be kind of interesting. Because obviously Benoit fighting at 155. I wonder if he moved down. I didn't know. Oh, this was a card and a
Oh,
half.
tell
Holy
us.
shit! This was a crazy card. Holy mother of God. Where are we?
Welterweight.
Yeah, so Benoit must have used to fight at welterweight, which is funny. But yeah, some crazy wins this guy's had. Not the most active fighter on the roster, but yeah, against Randy Brown. I mean, maybe he looked a bit old, you know, this guy.
Yeah, he did.
Randy Brown, again, not the most impressive victory performance-wise. Who do we want to see Randy Brown up against next?
Is he ranked? No.
No, but he's on a 3-fight win streak after that loss to Jack Della.
All right. Give him
You know,
a ranked
doing all right.
opponent.
I agree with you
Who
there.
have we got in the welterweight rankings right now? That
Welterweight, we could do Neil Magny.
Neil Magny?
Neil Mags.
He's not booked, is he?
Don't think he is. Welterweight.
Got Luke's booked.
Yeah, we do
Venom
Neil
Page's
Magny.
Booked.
Holland.
No.
That'd be fun. But I mean, we already
Yeah.
want Holland to fight your
There's
man.
not really anyone there for him, to be honest.
Stephen Thompson. Not going to happen. Jeff Neal.
Yeah.
Could be a one.
Actually, didn't Randy Brown call out Jeff Neal in his? I
Could have
think he
done.
did.
Could have done. Very much could have done. I can't remember.
And
Take
his
your word for it.
like right after the fight had happened when he was talking to Joe Rogan. I'm pretty sure he called out Jeff Neal.
Right. Well, there you go.
Who's that?
He's fought this guy before. Not even going to put it on the screen because they all know. Crazy that his record's this good. When he's just a dickhead. Look, there's a few things that I wanted to talk about as well. obviously, a couple of announcements have come out in recent times since we last talked. Nick Diaz is going to be fighting.
I was so gutted that
Vicente
came
Luque.
out right after we'd filmed the episode.
Yeah, I know. It was like, was that the night of?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. That
I woke
news
up the
was
next
weird.
day and saw that
And it was
news.
there. Like, so when's that card? Let's pull up these upcoming cards. I know we do this kind of frequently, but
It's got to be done.
it's got to be done. Someone's got to do it. I'm just going to pop this up on the screen. So obviously we had 302.
Mm.
So next up we've got Kennedy Imamov next weekend. It's an alright card, actually. Alex Perez is back again.
Dominic Reyes.
You got Reyes, Rojas Jr., Kennedy Perez. This guy it's a pretty good card, honestly. We've got Alaskarov, and then the weekend after that we've got the Whitaker. Oh no, it's 2 weeks after that. The Whitaker Chimaev fight card.
It was a big month, bro.
Huge month. That's a massive card. Massive card.
Johnny Walker fighting in the desert again.
That's not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. Week after that, we've obviously got McGregor at the end of this month and the end of June. Then the fight night after that,
July.
304. Then we've got this one that we've just been kind of chatting about. So some big announcements on this card that we haven't discussed yet. Most of them actually, really. Starting from the top, Corey versus Umar, rebooked. That's a big fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge fight. Big step up in competition for Umar. Corey taking a huge risk against a very dangerous opponent.
Yeah, Corey's one of those guys who, once Marab and Sean fight, Sean O'Malley that is, then he's right there waiting in the wings. So yeah, taking this fight against Nurmagomedov doesn't make all that much sense to further his career, but it does cement his spot at the top if he wins.
This is a BMF move from him. And we've seen this before with Corey. He doesn't really care who he fights. All he cares about is proving that he's the best in the world. That's all he cares about. And he'll go through anyone to get to that point. I love this guy. I really want to see him fight Sean O'Malley for the belt at some point. I think he can get this done.
I agree.
He's got great wrestling. Much better striking, in my opinion, than Umar, who is a great striker nonetheless. Corey's a bad man. He's a bad man.
And he's fun to watch most of the time.
Yeah,
I mean, he did have, what was it, that boring fight against, was it Rob Font?
Yeah, where he kind of just wrestled his way to a victory. But I think he tore his bicep or something in that fight.
Yeah, it was good. And
so,
that's probably what's been holding this fight off for so long.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be that fight. And Font stepped in last minute, I think, because Umar.
So Umar has, now will have had 2 full fight camps preparing for Corey Sandhagen. So he's got that as an advantage. But I mean, on the other foot, so's Corey.
And he's been more active. Well, no, Umar did fight that time against that random guy.
Either way, we've got time in future to break this down.
Yeah.
Or you will. And
Exactly. Nick Diaz, Vincenten.
the return.
That's what we call
the return of Nick Diaz.
The return of Nick Diaz.
Coming back after his, was it 2020 or 2021 fight against Robbie Lawler?
Can't remember. 21. Wow. So he's back again. 2015, 21, 24. That's fucked. And this isn't
Even
good.
that, 2013 before that, he didn't fight for 2 years.
So, and then 2006 to 2011.
That was when he got banned for weed, wasn't it?
No, this was when he got banned for weed. Is that legit? I swear he must have fought.
Did he go to another organization?
Yeah, maybe or something. 2009. No, he did fight in between. It just not in the UFC. There must be, and then strike. Yeah. Anyway, so Nick Diaz is coming back. He's fighting Vicente Luque. Just wanted to say another fight on this card. Tony Ferguson is fighting Michael Chiesa. Why didn't they just do Nick Diaz versus Tony Ferguson?
Oh my god!
Then one of them would have got a win, and we could have just been like, you know what, let's go.
Everyone wins there.
Everyone wins. This fight, Vicente Luque can knock you the fuck out big time if he shows up. Which he, even if he doesn't show up in top form, it's Nick Diaz, and he's old, and he's not as fast as he used to be, and his style's a bit outdated nowadays.
That fight against Robbie Lawler was poor.
That was a
form.
terrible fight. Terrible fight, and that was
And he
so
just
long ago
gave
now
up.
as well. He wasn't there for. He was there for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Let's be real. And
But
yeah,
in more recent times, I've seen some.
he's been looking all right.
He looks pretty good. It looks like he's been training already, which is a good sign.
He's been active for sure. Wonder if he's been boxing with his bro.
Potentially.
We can see some pictures of what he's looking like. I mean, yeah, he's been running and stuff. That's a cool bridge.
Doing
Doing
nunchucks.
nunnies.
You're not allowed to take those into the cage.
No. Well, he might find a way. This is him boxing. No guard. I mean, yeah, he looks all right. Like, we'll have to see. Who knows? I mean, like I say, his style's it's a bit outdated nowadays. Like,
Look,
he's
look at
looking
that!
good
Look
there.
at that! Look at that! Yeah.
He's looking good there. He's
Compared to what
definitely
he was looking
good.
like against Robbie Lawler.
Yeah. Where was this when you faced Jake Paul?
You're a casual.
So yeah, I mean, let's see what happens there. But I would have liked. Why not just do fucking Ferguson versus Diaz? It would have been perfect.
It would have been huge.
Would have been huge, and then just do Chimaev Luque on the same card. Like, but it is what it is. Look, with the Tony fight.
Chimaev Luque.
Sorry, not fucking. My head's not. I'm cloudy. I'm a bit
Shazaya.
fucking Chisaya. Chisaya.
Chiesa, sorry.
At least I got a fight.
Yeah.
Chisaya. So Chisaya versus
Sorry,
Ferguson.
we're just looking at chiseled Nick Diaz.
Oh, yeah, right. You just can't wait to chiz over Nick Diaz's pictures later.
Either way, I'm very excited.
Yeah, same.
I can't wait to see him come back. I hope he comes back in
top form.
top form.
And,
yeah.
and with the Ferguson fight, at least it's someone who's not going to knock him out like bad.
And this is welterweight as well. Like,
It
there's some, like, dude. Stephen Thompson versus Nick Diaz.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah, he wins this. He's the ranked 14.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
Straight in there against a ranked guy. Apparently, Kevin Holland was one of the guys that was in conversations about fighting him, but didn't want to wait that long.
GSP. He asked for.
Yeah, but they were never going to give him that.
Yeah.
Maybe that was one of the fights that was actually. Do you remember when UFC 300 was still in the works and Dana said there is going to be the return
fight
of some big names, some guys that aren't fighting at the moment that will be coming back? I wouldn't be surprised if this was the fight he was talking about.
Maybe they were working on Nicky, but
Nick versus GSP, and
that would have been crazy.
That would have been mental. And
But,
I think
yeah.
Nick Diaz would have been, in probably a bit controversial here, but probably a better position to fight than
GSP is 40,
Well, so is
and
Nick Diaz.
Nick. So
But what I'm saying is at least Nick Diaz had that fight against Robbie Lawler. He doesn't have the same kind of ring rust as what GSP would have.
I mean, yeah,
He's obviously
I would
been
have favored
training.
GSP in that fight for sure. Just because I think GSP takes a lot better care of his body.
Yeah.
Nick has taken a lot of damage via the use of drugs and alcohol,
Well,
which I don't
it's
think
mainly
GSP
weed,
does.
isn't it?
There's been a lot of times where he's been a bit fucked on alcohol. He drinks a lot, I think, or he has done, and partakes in a lot of other stuff. I don't know, but
Allegedly.
we will never know. But I would have way preferred that than fucking Luque, who I'm like, well, Luque's 33, like,
Coming off a pathetic loss
Yeah,
against
exactly.
Joaquin Buckley.
I mean, there's some intrigue there, but anyway, guys, Tony Ferguson is going to win. That's all I'm saying.
You think so?
No, but at least it's against a guy who's going to try and take him down, and not a guy like Chandler who's just going to explode on his face,
Or Bobby Green?
or like Bobby
Paddy
Green
Pimblett.
or Pimblett, who's just like there's no chance because he's just Tony Ferguson's an old weak man. Chiesa
What
is not
this going
very
to be?
good.
Is this at lightweight?
This is a welterweight.
Oh, welterweight.
It is. Look, we'll break that down later down the line. I wanted to break down this, unless you had anything else to discuss there, Jack Black. That's what we call you.
I feel like there was something, but we can get into that in another time. I'm happy to. I was watching Dana's thing this morning. I can't quite remember what he was talking about because I was thinking about other things at the time. But
I don't know.
did you watch his post-fight press conference?
I did.
Oh, him talking
Yeah.
about how John Jones is,
that
pissed
me off, actually.
Dude, shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
It's Islam. Islam's active. He's beating top guys. He's beating active guys.
I hear what you're saying. Okay, sure, John Jones is undefeated his entire career, and he steps up to heavyweight, makes lightweight of Cyril Gane.
I hated how he was also saying, like, he makes it look easy against the top heavyweight in the world. It's like, well, no.
We know
He
the
just
top
got beat.
heavyweight in
Yeah,
the
we
world.
knew who it fucking was. Stipe's, cherry picking Stipe, who's 42 now. Still not going to be easy, but
Yes,
he doesn't want to fight Tom. Let's be real. John Jones does not want to fight Tom. There's too much risk there. I'm not saying he's scared of Tom, but there's a big risk if he fights Tom. It was annoying. It was really annoying because it should be Islam.
It should be Islam.
Or and then Leon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
Pretty simple.
it just makes sense. Like, these guys are active. They're still proving that they're the best in the world. Whereas John Jones is the only person on the roster who has been put in a position where he's injured for a lengthy amount of time now, and he still hasn't been booked. Like, when did he fight Cyril Gane?
I think it was the beginning of 22, something, or 23.
No, it was at the end of 22. I feel like it was in November.
I think it was in January, wasn't it? Well, let's have a look. I think it was around the end of 22, 23.
And before that, he hadn't fought for 4 years.
Let's have a look. John
Bones.
March. What the
Beginning of
fuck?
last year. Yeah, okay. And before that, hadn't fought for 3 years.
Yeah. So crazy. Like,
Dude.
there's no way he's. Come on. Like, again, like you say, I get that he was active and he was beating all these top guys for so long, but that was then, and this is now.
3 fights ago, he fought Anthony Smith.
Yeah. And Anthony Smith has gone on to be
Getting a
one of the
win
best
over
fighters in the
Anthony
world.
Smith should decrease you in the pound-for-pound rankings.
Oh yeah, just accepting a fight against a disabled guy in general was not a good look. But look, we're in the modern day of fighting, in the modern era. We've moved on from all this John Jones stuff. He was great, yes. But let's be real. Now, in today's MMA scene, Islam Makhachev is the best fighter in the world, pound for pound. Pound for pound doesn't mean John Jones used to beat all the top guys.
It also
in his
doesn't
division.
mean you put Islam and John in a room and John walks out, because that's
Yes.
obvious.
Pound for pound.
But could you imagine if Islam, in his current shape, weighed 250 pounds?
Oh yeah, he would be fucking beast.
Like, his striking,
Yeah.
if he was a heavyweight, would be way better
Absolutely.
than John Jones's. His wrestling is pretty much on par. Debatably,
Yeah.
could even be better than John Jones's.
Yep.
What are you
I
talking
think
about?
this guy is easily the best pound. He's the way he mixes it up, and then second, easily, is Leon Edwards, because it's the same thing. Striking's amazing, wrestling's amazing.
Takedown
Counter
defense is just out
And
the gate.
let's fucking wait, right? So if Islam can beat Sarukian, if Leon can beat Bilal, let's put them up together, because then they've both had Islam would have had 4 title defenses. Leon would have had 3. Chuck them up against each other at that point. That's probably the best fight in history at that point. Best, highest skilled fight in history.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. I want to see that happen. I hope it does.
Well, and the thing is like, Leon would have then fought 3 guys that stylistically
Aren't good for
don't
him.
match up well to him. Do you know what I mean? And all you've got left in the welterweight division after that are strikers, and Leon is just going to put it on
He's
them.
going to beat them. He's going to outpoint them. And if Leon can get that done against Islam, give him a chance at the 185 belt at that point, because he deserves it. Lot of 185. Let him
Say
go up.
Islam.
No, Leon.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said Islam. Go
Maybe
up to
I did.
185.
I don't fucking know. Okay,
That's a
let's
few
end it there,
cheeseburger.
Jackson. I need a piss. Monster Energy, chaotic. Unfortunately, wait. First of all, let's rate the card, guys. We've been forgetting to do something.
Yeah, that's going below 301.
Do you think so? I'm just trying to think back.
Wait, actually, no, 301 was
301 was-
Pantoja.
yeah, that was the one. But it was an all right card. But there was no. It wasn't a pay-per-view worthy card.
No, star power
This is
wise,
pretty
it was
even
pretty average.
to that. I'm gonna put it above because why
at
not?
least we had some star power. We had some intrigue. And we had a pretty damn entertaining main event.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I agree.
everyone was expecting
Absolutely.
Dustin to be out of there very early. He
And
managed
he-
to last
yeah.
until the 5th round.
Yeah.
And even at that point, he was still putting it on Islam.
Oh yeah,
who
no.
Somehow
The
managed
guy, he's a beast. He's an
Yeah.
absolute beast. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Monster Energy Chaotic Energy plus Juice.
Tropical Orange.
I don't think that this was better than Ripper,
No.
in my opinion.
But I think it's still better than anything else we've had apart from Ripper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'm willing to give this one a 6.5, personally. Passion Fruit Mountain Dew was 7.1. Just for
6.5.
reference. I thought that was a 6.5. I think it's better than the other monsters that we've had, apart from that Ripper.
Yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
6.8.
6.8, so 6.65.
Oh, I thought that's...
Wait, what did I
You
do?
gave us 6.5. Oh, no, yeah, then it is 6.
6.65. That's going to be above this one. I don't even know what that is. Oh, pink.
Think what?
Monster.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of Monster, haven't we?
Yeah, you seem to get...
All the drinks.
No. No. You seem to be getting a lot of monsters.
Oh, well. Anyway, this has been Combat Corner. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you would like us to drink in an upcoming episode. Otherwise, we normally release a tier video every week, as long as
We
they're
didn't
not
last
too
week.
controversial.
We fucked up on that one.
But yeah,
I
check
did.
out our shorter form content, and we will see you on Thursday.
See you Thursday, everybody.
Goodbye.
Oh fuck, I can't find the mouse. There it is.